This is a random video about building your brand, and this is targeted towards employees who work for organizations in a highly pressured work environment. So this video is not for everybody. This video is not even for 9 to 5. If you do your normal 9 to 5, I don't think you need this video. This video is for those who work beyond 9 to 5 for their employers. So you work in a very highly pressured environment, but something somewhere within you is telling you you can be more, you can do more than you're currently doing. There is a bigger purpose chasing you, and you know that there is just more you can be doing. And when I say more, I don't mean spending more hours working. This is not about work. This is more about fulfilling your purpose and stepping into your purpose, and especially saying yes to that inner nudge that you keep getting and you've been saying for a long time, I don't have time, I don't have time. And you are correct. You don't have time, but you can create it. And that's why this video, I'm putting it together to share with you some of my thoughts on how you can maintain your excellence at work in a highly pressured environment and still build that thing that you want to build. And if you're thinking about, oh, why do I think I can talk about it? It's because that is my current reality, and I'm going to be as honest as I can be with you. I'm going to be as direct. I'm going to tell you everything as it is in my mind. I'm going to share everything with you. Now, there is nothing wrong with you keeping your job, growing to the top of your career, and that's the only thing you do, because that to you is purpose. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I've seen people happy at work. Like, that work is their life. They love it, they enjoy it, and that is it. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. There is also nothing wrong with you enjoying your work deeply, finding deep fulfillment in your work, and at the same time having those other things outside of work that you enjoy and you want to build a brand around. There's nothing wrong with that as well. So if you enjoy your work 100%, this video is still for you, because around your work, you can still build a brand, a thriving brand around your work. And you don't necessarily need to do anything more than you're currently doing. You don't need to do anything major. And for you that you think, I've got this thing I love to do, gives me a lot of joy, feels like hobby, I could do it 247, but I still feel like I don't have time to do it, then watch this video to the end. Now, there is no time for anything. Honestly, there's no time for anything. Someone who loves their sleep and will tell you, I don't have time to get up and go to no work. And someone who enjoys working their job will tell you, I don't have time for any other thing. Okay, there is no, the things we do are things we have created time to do. That perspective and that mindset is key. So if you think that your 9 to 5 or your 9 to 8 or your 8 to 10 or whatever it is not going to give you time to pursue the things you love, is because you have decided not to create the time to pursue the things that you love. I'm going to say something else, and that relates to performance. The fact that you are chasing something outside of work, you're trying to build a brand for yourself. So, for instance, you love fashion and you love fashion, you love lifestyle and all of that kind of content, and you just love it and you want to create it. Does not mean that if you are a consultant, for instance, that you can't be a consultant, be exceptionally good at being a consultant, and at the same time be a fashion person and build a brand around it. Excellence is a lifestyle. Okay. In fact, in my own case, I have seen tremendous improvement tremendous improvement in my performance at work since I started chasing the things I loved outside of work. And this is how it happens. Joy is within you. Your happiness is within you. Your abilities and skills are within you. You give them expression through the things you do. You are not going to get joy and happiness from outside and that will make you happy. It's already within you. And then you give expression to those activities from the joy that is within you. Now, where am I going? This is where I'm going. Excellence is within you as well. Okay? So that the fact that you're chasing something you love, you have an hobby you're chasing on the side, doesn't mean your work will suffer and then that thing you're chasing will be the best. Or if you're excellent, whatever you lay your hands upon to do will prosper. So in my case, I am an exceptional performer at work. I am also an exceptional performer at the kind of content I give and I choose to do for career starters and for career professionals. Because everything I touch is excellent because I am intentional about it. And that's how I want you to see it. Now, you can ask me and can say, so obviously you need a lot of time to, do this content and all of that. Again, excellence is not lazy work. It's going to take a lot from you. It's going to take a lot from you. If you're going to give expression to the ideas that are coming from within you, then you must be ready to sit down and do the work. The gifts is within you. You need to give it expression. Okay? So, whether you're working at work, on your job, or you're working on your own thing, you will need to work hard. You will need to work smart. You will need to be as efficient as you can, but you will need to put in the hours. So the question is, what are you putting your hours into? One of the things that I personally did when I started doing content and writing, one of the first things I started doing was I took time away from non-value adding activities that gave me pleasure and I put it into my purpose, which is writing, inspiring thousands of professionals every single day before they go to work. That to me is more value adding, is more impactful than me scrolling through social media every evening once I get back from work. So what I did was, when I'm at work, I'm working. When I am not at work, I am working on my dreams, on my purpose. So for instance, once I get off work, for instance, I take my laptop, my personal laptop, I start writing, or my phone, all of my ideas that have come to me, all of the things I have observed that have come to me, I start giving them expression. I start giving them life. So I'll take a topic and I will expand on it. Okay, I'll do my research if I need to, and if it's flowing freely from my head into my notepad, it's then flowing freely. But that can take hours. Sometimes I spend almost 2 hours on one single post. Sometimes it can be as low as 25 minutes. It can be as low as 20 minutes. Sometimes the writing of it can take me 20 to 30 minutes. But the editing, the formatting, making sure that the ideas flow through, me just stepping back and doing a critical self-review of what I've written, I can be there another 1 hour, 30 minutes. Honestly. Because I'm like, this sentence, how can I write it better? How can I, get people slightly emotional about this write-up? How can I bring people into this? How can I make them engage with it and help them? Because it's not about me just writing for people. I want something out of my writing for people. I want them to take action, because in there lies my referral. In there lies Ore wrote a post and it changed my life. Or I wrote a post and I finished my project. Or I wrote a post and I decided to pursue my dreams. Or I wrote a post. So if they do not act on it, my post is meaningless. So I need to bring in a lot of I need to bring in a technique that persuades them to act. That is where I spend my time. because the ideas in my head, they're just there in my head. I'll put them down, but I know that how I convey a message is more important than the message I'm conveying. Because if I convey it the right way, then people get to act on it, and then people get to come back and say, that post that you did made me do this, and this is the result. Okay, so I need you to think about it. You will put in the hours and you will be excellent at it. And I get how you're like, well, I don't know where to start from. Start where you are. I'm making this video on my phone. I'm making low production cost. Low production cost. And I say how this video is going to get to tens and tens of people. Almost zero production cost. I'm not going to edit this video. And I'm going to put it out there. And you're going to watch it. And you're going to get something out of it. Okay? So start where you are. If you want to make a video, turn on your camera and make the video. You don't need thousands of pounds to go and buy a fancy camera. Use your phone camera. It's fine. It's fine. It's the message that matters. Use your phone camera. If you want to write, you don't need a massive... I've been writing for months before I got myself a Mac that I used to write. And most times I still don't even use it. I use my phone because sometimes ideas come to me in unexpected places. On a train ride, on my way to the gym, at the gym, on my bed just laying down, wherever. So you think you need more things, but you don't necessarily need more things. You just need to start where you are, and then you begin to sort of find your way as you go along. I did a post a couple of days back, and this was one of the things I said in the post. I said, you are a pace setter, right? You are in a forest. You are not going through a preset landmark, like people have already cleared the road. You're just going. You are a pace setter. It means you're trying to create something from afresh. So it means that you have to create the path in the forest. You have to clear the bush, and you have to make marks on the trees, so that you can then sort of find your way out of the forest, and people coming behind you can see the marks on the trees, and they can see how you were able to set the pace and, do all of that. So if you think about it that way, you need to put in the hard work. It's not going to be easy. But it doesn't mean that it's hard work that will kill you or anything like that. No, it's not going to be stress. It's not going to be kind of stress that will kill you. It's the kind of stress that is good for you. Again, when I started pursuing the things I loved outside of work, I started seeing some skills that I didn't know that I could basically build. At work, I do meetings, I lead meetings confidently and all of that. When I started doing the things I did outside of work, I started talking to hundreds of people at webinars, started organizing events, started onboarding mentors, different things I started doing that I did not have the opportunity to do before. And I came up with my own framework of coaching people for results. And I've gotten so much results, I don't even know where to put them. Because I decided to go with it. I didn't say, because I work in a highly pressured environment, then it means I cannot be anything else that I want to be. You can be everything that you want to be. Just create the time to be it. And start with the first one. One foot, one leg in front, your foot in front of another in the dark. Once you do one, you will see how you can do the next. And then you see how you can do the next. And then you see how you can do the next. But if you don't start, a year from now, we're going to have this conversation again. If you don't start today, a year from now, we're going to have the conversation again. So if you want to write, take your phone, take your laptop and start writing. You're not going, just recently, I saw a post that I did about a year and a half ago on LinkedIn, and I just smiled. That post had like 2 comments or so, and I really, really smiled. And the 2 comments was one person and myself responding. That's it, right? And I looked at what I wrote. The message made sense, but the way I wrote it was just rubbish. But if I did not make that one post, I would not see how I can make another post that can be better, and I can make another one that can be better, and like that. And it's just normal that when you start, your whole universe will begin to support you, because this is what will then happen. When you start, people will start pushing you towards where you need to go. So from the comments you will get, from people say, okay, tell us this, tell us that, people will start pushing you towards where you need to go. So you don't, sometimes it's a pull. So the universe will pull you towards success instead of you having to do that, push yourself. But if you don't start, you're not going to get that support that you need. So I need you to build a brand. Now, look, whether you build a brand for yourself or you do not build a brand, you are building a brand. And your brand has value. Yes, monetary value and non-monetary value. Your brand has value. Okay, part of it is what I say, for instance, carries weight more than what somebody else will say in my same shoes, just because of the things I've been exposed to, the kind of results that I've gotten. My name alone can bring in more results, and that applies to every other person. And that's where you're trying to go. You're trying to get to a point where you have that reputation and people can say, I will bet my money on Ore, she's going to get results. So I want you to build that brand for yourself. And you don't necessarily need to build a brand. So if you're thinking about, oh, I don't know what to do, what is that thing that comes so easily to you, no matter how little? Because you can be excellent at being a niche creator. You can make money. You can do whatever it is you want to do by being a niche creator, no matter how little. What is that thing that you can do? It comes to you easily. You can close your eyes and you can do it. But somebody else cannot. And that is a pain for somebody else. Start there. And the universe will begin to pull you in a direction that you need to go. So this is a motivational post for you to build your brand. Now, all of the technicalities, forget about it. I didn't understand what branding. I used to see a lot of branding, this branding, that personal branding, that branding, this branding on LinkedIn. At a point, I'm like, what is all these branding things? I don't even understand what it is. I was just doing my own thing. I was just posting. I was just doing my own thing. Then I started seeing that people started calling me content creator. I'm like, what am I? I promise you that I did not read one single book on content creating. I was just writing and I was just putting it out there. And then people started calling me content creator, people started calling me author, people started calling me all sorts of names, people started calling me coach, because I just need to act. That's all I need to do. So all of the technicalities of it's not fine. If I do a post, it's not, start first. Then there are the other technicalities that I would do in some other videos, like collaborating with other people, how to get ideas for the things you need to do, all of those things. I will talk about them more because I also want to record my journey as well, and then share them with those that are upcoming, because I want you to be excellent in all areas, not just in your career, also in building a good brand for yourself. If I can do it, if I can get to a point where I'm building this brand, you can also do it as well. And another thing that I will say shortly is this: don't feel like you need to be like another person. Start where you are. You see that in your level. I've got over a decade worth of experience. But when I started, and up till now, I tell people, I cater to career starters. Not because I can't say, I cater to all professionals. I can't cater to all professionals. I cater to career starters because that comes so easily to me. I will close my eyes and I will tell a career starter where they need to go. And they are going to be thankful for the advice that I give them. So that's where I'm sitting, that's where I'm staying, and that's where I'm building my brand. Okay, so you need to think about the same. Don't look at somebody else. Look at you. What can you do easily that you have the experience to do? Focus on that. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.